Welcome, everyone, to the Print Fam podcast. I'm your host, Daron, founder of the Print Fam. I'm joined by Daniel Pentecost, founding director of CLTGeek, and Harold Wood, director of sales operations at Koozie Group. Harold, we've talked a little bit before the show, but in case anyone is not familiar with Koozie Group, could you give us just a brief introduction? I know it has been a crazy ride between being called Norwood and Bic and private equity and Koozie. So can you give us a little synopsis of what Koozie Group is?
Absolutely. So Koozie Group is a combination of what you would call Norwood, Bic Graphics, Imagine Brands, Skinner and Kennedy, and now Garyline. So all those companies have come together or will come together as of January 2nd, 2026 to be one entity. What's nice about us is we have the largest manufacturing um, footprint in the US. So we manufacture a lot of the promotional products you see in our catalogs here domestically. So tariffs were a big, you know, scary word that was going around that only impacted probably about 30% of our total offering to the industry, which is over 2,700 products.
When
Wow.
you guys are,
So,
go ahead, Daniel.
as I say, so for someone who has done business with maybe one or two of the brands that are coming together, like me, in the year ahead, sort of what what are we looking at? What will change? What won't change? What do we need to know?
So, with the Garyline acquisition or merger with us, we as a company were owned by private equity. They were owned partially by private equity called Millpoint. They purchased both of us at the same time, so we're coming together as one company. Really, the only thing you're going to see is some changes of emails. So, if you are a long-standing Garyline customer, instead of placing your order at Garyline or orders at Garyline.com, they're going to go to Koozie orders at KoozieGroup.com. So, other than that, we had some great technology. We have something called the Koozie Tracker. So once you place an order, if you're like me and you don't like to talk to people, like live people, you want AI or a chat, basically we're going to send you a tracking link. You click on that, you can check it at 2 a.m. It goes right into our system. So it makes it very seamless. Um, we're still going to carry all their products. We're still going to have that manufacturing footprint in Florida for both our writing instruments and their bottles, as well as our two Red Wing facilities. And then we also have an imprint location in Doniphan, Missouri. So it
So
should
are
be
you
pretty
guys
for you.
are you guys expanding facilities? Or are you just keeping the existing stuff, or logistically, what does that kind of look like?
Yeah, currently we're going to keep the facilities. Each of them have their own unique footprint. I will say we have room in a bunch of them. So, down the line, we'd probably look at something, but again, we're owned by private equity. So we're always looking to make the company larger, more effective, more dynamic for our customers. We know trends change pretty much every day in the promotional products industry. Your customer can come to you one day and be like, "Hey, I'm on a $50 Stanley tumbler." The next day, they're like, "Hey, no, I need like 8.5 cent pens and I need a bunch of them." So, with our offering and our facilities across the US, we have a really good product line that can really hit any budget for any customer or any event.
So, if you haven't watched any of our previous podcasts, you might have missed me going off on cheap pens, and you just mentioned the cheap pen. For all of our print fan members who maybe are a print shop that are trying to add additional revenue, sort of speaking of trends, what sort of trends do you see that they need to be aware of and talking about to their own?
Well, I think with the tariff implications this year and not getting political at all, just the impact, we saw a lot of end users or end buyers really look for lower priced items. They're still looking for some of those higher ends. Um, we have the retail brand GCI. If you're not familiar, those are rocking chairs that you'll see in all the sporting goods stores. You'll see them in Walmart. They're all over Amazon. They're a higher price, and we've had some of our largest orders on those particular outdoor items. But our tried and true, the pens, our sticky notes, anything that's that lower price point commodity item, we're seeing more and more customers request that because of tariff implications.
Speaking of
Those
requests, I often get requests in the print fan for people who are looking for next day sticky notes. Can you give people some guidance on sort of what realistic expectations are for production and things sort of making it out the door?
Yeah. So, because we have again, right now, 5 different facilities, we actually offer a 24-hour service and 2-day service on a lot of our different products. Most of our products, with some exceptions on imprints, are 5 days. So if you're looking for next day sticky notes, realistically, it's probably more 2-day if you want to pay for that freight or depending on where you're located. But we can get a lot of things right now. I think we're sitting at like 98.6% on time for those type of instances. Again, we're not perfect, but anytime that a customer is using that 24-hour service, that's a priority for us, and we're trying to get them out the door that next day. So if your order's in by 5 p.m. Eastern time, it's going out the door the next day. FedEx or UPS, it's put on a truck.
So you guys have a lot of equipment, and a few years ago, you guys released some videos of like the Bic pen running and a few other machines. That is not very common to open up the doors to show people behind the curtain. What kind of was the logic behind that, and why are you not doing more of it?
Um, One, yes, it was a little outside the box at that time, but realistically, we want to get the message out there that not only are we manufacturing, but we are a large scale imprinter on various levels. So what we've tried to do is peel back the curtain a little bit and give customers access to see the equipment that we have, the staff that we have in some of our facilities, like our Sleepy Eye facility, where we're printing the sticky notes, the calendars, and doing a lot of other print jobs. The average, tenure there is over 30 years. So we have a lot of knowledge and we have a lot of people who really love and take pride in their job. As far as why we're not doing more, we've had some changes in our marketing team, and it's one of those things that we actually just recently brought in. I just met him 2 weeks ago. We brought in an intern who's got his degree in videography. So we're going to start to look at doing that, doing some more innovation on not only what we do behind the scenes, but also some better product videos. Because what we've heard is a lot of distributors need those product videos so they can educate their buyers. See,
I'm
Daniel,
one of them.
I'm all
I'm one
about,
of them.
yeah. And then, I'll tell him myself, I'm the geek of the group. So take someone with the knowledge base that Ethan has, who's going to be our videographer, and combine that with AI, with some new things that are going on out there, and we'll really be able to kind of showcase what we do, both from a production level, an imprinting level, and then the product level. So I think moving forward, you're going to see a lot more assets that you guys can use with your customers.
Speaking of assets, it's a good place to ask. For somebody that's new to the business, it's not used to marketing to promotional products. What sort of assets do you already provide that they can take advantage of to sell their customer today?
That's a great question. We do have a YouTube channel, so you can see some of the videos that we put out there. We do launch new product videos, but our website is probably the best source of information. Any flyer that we have, you can create on there. We use Zoom Catalog if you're familiar with that, so you can customize those. We do actually print catalogs. We are a large format printer, so we actually still print our catalogs. So if you need catalogs, you can go right to our website and order them. So a lot of buyers, depending on their demographic, want something physical in their hand that they can thumb through. We can send those to you, and we typically send those out at no charge. And then on top of that, you can do virtuals on our website. Our sales team will do virtuals and storyboards. So really, whatever type of assets that yourself or other distributors need, they can come to our sales team or our customer service team, and we can help identify it and get it over to you.
With the sales team, how do you have that set up? Is it set up so that like you have areas that specific salespeople cover? Is it just a general sales? Like, if someone's like, "Hey, I want to start working with Koozie Group," like, how does that process work for distributors?
Yeah, we have a multi-tier sales team. We have something called sales support, which is basically that first level. Those are the first people you would probably talk to if you haven't done business with us, and they're there to help understand your business. And then basically, what we would do as you grow with us, we would add layers. We have inside sales, we have field sales reps who are in each region. We have them strategically placed in areas of high density for customers. So, like if you're in the New York market, we have a ton of customers there. Florida is a really heavy place for us too, because we have two of our facilities there. So we see a lot of traction in that market. And then, anywhere there's a big city, we typically have a rep. We also have national account managers who are going to help work with those accounts that are doing the most volume with us. And then you have the sales operation team. And my whole role, after being a seller for 20 years, is to help give the sellers more tools and then work within the company to help break down silos and really have those communication between sales, operations, marketing, finance, and anything else you want to sprinkle in between that.
So for me, I think the question that I have and that I've gotten from multiple of my clients in the last couple weeks as they think about what they're going to buy for the holiday gifts or the holiday season. Um, is there anything unique, anything special, anything that gave you an aha moment? Maybe something new that was added or a new way to use an old thing. I've been looking at new ways to use old things. Um,
So I can give you one of each. So new product that I was blown away by. We have a new partnership with a company called Foam. It's a one piece minimum. It's a unique. It's almost like it's a hard sided cooler, but it's made of a durable foam material. So they have their own videos. Can see them running it over with a Jeep or a truck, and then it just pops back into shape. It's unique because it's a different material. It floats, so you can, if you have a pool, you can fill it with ice, throw your drinks in there, and just throw it right in the pool, and it's good to go. I like it because it's a unique shape, it's a different profile, offers full color imprint. We can personalize it, and the MOQ is one. So when you're looking for gifting, sometimes you need that higher end gift for that one special buyer or special person. I think that one kind of fits the feel. Talked about GCI chairs, a lot of the outdoor activities. We see that kind of trending. Drinkware is another one. We hear a little bit of hesitation on drinkware. People have been doing a lot of it, or they're looking for that next new thing. We've gone from, yeah, you go from Yeti to Stanley to Adwala. Every single year, I think there's a new trend, and people are always trying to jump on those. But using older things in unique ways. There's a lot done with technology. You can add NFC tags to a lot of products, QR codes on your sticky notes to bring someone to a landing page. Um, we've actually partnered with Sanmar recently to be one of their decorators for their bags out of our Minnesota facility. So that opens up a whole new realm for us. So if you're buying blanks from Sanmar and you need a decorator in the Minnesota area, you can also send those directly to us. We're part of their PSST program.
So, along with Sanmar being on the PSST, you guys are also a part of We Promo, which is a free buying group that gets EQP with Koozie. Can you talk a little bit more about that partnership with We Promo and how it can benefit distributors?
Yeah, I mean, we try and partner with a lot of different buying groups. There's ones obviously like We Promo that are free, and it's really getting distributors a fair playing field across the entire environment or scope. Because realistically, we know a local distributor is going to be competing with online distributors. They're going to be competing with larger regional ones. This gives you the ability to join a group, get information, and really get some pricing that's beneficial to you so that you can make a little more and share the benefit to your customer if you need to do that as well. Um, it's one of those. We Promo is part of another group that I actually managed when I was a seller. So I adore the people there and have very good relationships with them.
Many of our print fan members who have recently joined We Promo are trying to figure out sort of what their life journey in promo is going to be. If you had a brand new distributor who like just signed up for We Promo, just became a Koozie Group customer, what would you advise them should their journey be? What do they need to do to be successful?
So I think from my standpoint, and again, I've never been on the distributor side. I have with doing this for 20 years, I have some really good friends. And we have those conversations. If you started again fresh tomorrow as a distributor, what would you do? And I think the big thing is one, hone on one or two or three suppliers that you really resonate with. Pick those top three, whether it's three in hard goods, three in apparel, three ancillary. Um, I have an accounting and finance background, so we were always taught the ABC method. You want your primary, your secondary, and then a tertiary one that kind of has some unique stuff. Focus on them because what happens is you build those relationships. They're going to know you. They're going to want to do good for you, and that's going to help you grow your business. And then at a certain point, you may outgrow that buying group because of those relationships you've built with those 6 or 7 suppliers. I think it's a great thing. Again, I've been doing this for over 20 years. So customers become friends. And I think that kind of partnership really helps everyone evolve because then it's not just like, hey, I have this customer looking for a $5 mug. It's, hey, they're looking for this mug because they want to give it as a gift, but they're looking to do something different. Well, have we looked at this and this? And those conversations really transform from going from transactional to being more of a partnership.
So
Speaking of
with,
partnership, oh,
go ahead, Daniel.
sorry, Darren, go ahead. I was going to say, speaking of partnership, many of our folks want to know how they can do business with you. What do folks need to do if they're not already doing business with
So they can visit KoozieGroup.com. They can go on and they can log in. If they don't have a login and they're not a distributor currently, it'll send them information. They fill out a form. They can also email new accounts at KoozieGroup.com. We'll send them all the information that we need to set them up as an account. And then basically from there, they'll get an intro call from our sales support team, kind of go over what we do, and then they're ready to roll. There are some information. Obviously, we want to vet people to make sure they're not end buyers. So there is a vetting process. We don't sell direct to anyone. We follow the distributor chain. So we want to make sure that's clear. But if you're a distributor and you're not doing business with Koozie Group, you can call me. I'll take you out to lunch. We can have a conversation.
So speaking of not selling direct, you guys kind of recently went viral on TikTok for the Bic intensity click. How did you guys deal with that, being that you don't sell direct?
It was unique. I will say our sample department, samples on that pen, we're usually, I'd say, probably about 100 samples of that pen daily for distributors getting it in people's hands. That went up 2,500% in one day, people asking for samples because Sam Hart, who we developed the relationship with, who kind of posted about that, um, actually said she didn't know what the pen was. Everyone kind of commented. My daughter, who is in the same kind of age group as her, commented. They had a conversation. I also live in Virginia. Sam lives in Richmond, Virginia. So there was a lot of things that were going on. And like my daughter's pinging me, marketing's pinging me. Everyone's like, hey, what do we do? So it was a little bit of a crazy time. And Bic actually came back to us domestically to buy some of those pens. We buy those from Bic Asia, and that's where they're sourced from. And then Bic Retail had to come to us and purchase some so that they could start to offer it. But it was a really unique thing. And sales on that pen, that's been one of my favorite pens since I combined or our companies combined both Bic and Norwood. It just has a unique imprint area. You can do full color on it. It's got an articulated clip. I don't know if you ever put a shirt in your pocket, a gel pen, and then you have that giant black spot. That clip comes out, it automatically retracts the pen. So, and if you haven't written with one, let us know. We'll happily send you a sample.
Well, I'm on a mission to get rid of crappy pens, and so
Wow.
I can endorse that pen.
And the one thing with us too is you will see there's a lot of, CPS in our industry. People want the lowest cost, and they don't. They just they think they want that. What they need to be is educated. I would rather you, if you tell me you have a budget, and if it's 2,500, I would rather you get less pens and have higher quality, because pens are transient. They're going to hit 8 to 10 different people's hands before they're discarded. If you go into a restaurant, you've probably had a crappy pen in your hand. You go to sign a check and it doesn't write. And then you look at it and you go, well, this dentist didn't really think about, what he was putting his imprint on. It's like anything, your personal brand. Think about what you would put. You showed your tumbler. You want to put you want to sell and put your personal brand on something that has value. I could preach on that for 2 days if you needed, but
So can I. It's a soapbox item. If you go take a look at our video that we recorded in Orlando, I might have gotten on that soapbox.
and again, I appreciate that. I mean, customers will always come to us and be like, "Hey, I need a 10-cent pen," and then we're like, "We can get there, but does your customer really want that? What's their end goal? Is it just to give out pens in their bank branch or their restaurant, or do they want something that people are going to hold on to and look at that and go, oh, that's my bank. That's where I go to. That's where I keep all my money." And I keep all my money there and they give me this inexpensive pen, or you go to sign a contract and you get something that doesn't write. Not a great feeling.
So, what do you feel right now
There.
with
Um,
that is one of the biggest challenges that suppliers and distributors are both facing right now? Like, obviously, pricing products correctly and providing true value, but what do you think is a common struggle that, like, you, Koozie Group, are having that you're sharing with the distributors?
I think end user bias on products, whether it's positive or negative. When a end buyer says, "Hey, I saw this tumbler online and 3 people on TikTok are pushing it. This is what I want." They don't always understand that's what they want. They see that someone else is influencing their buying decision and they don't pull back from it. They just kind of go with it. And then the distributor is forced to scramble and kind of find it, or the supplier is forced to go to a different vendor in China and source it to get it in. I think sometimes what we need to do, not only as sellers, but we also need to be educators. We need to inform and really talk to them about their needs. Like, what is the ROO or ROI you're trying to get on this particular product? Do you want just to put something in people's hands? I was very fortunate enough, being director of sales operation. We use Salesforce as an application. I got to go to Dreamforce, which is their largest event. 75,000 people all in San Francisco at the same time. Salesforce is there giving away things. All their vendors are giving away things. And the level of things that they were giving away, you think this is an IT company that, is charging 30,000 to well over $1 million to a client, and they are giving away the least expensive things that they can. And I know it's 75,000 people, so you can't give everyone, a great item, but you should always tier it. You should have those inexpensive giveaways. You should have something with those great conversations. If someone's in your booth or meeting with you for 30 minutes to 60 minutes, you should have a better thing. And then those customers who are, signing a contract for $1 million, 100K, then you should bust out the tumbler that Daniel was showing. I mean, offer them something nice, but educating them on that, like, hey, if you're trying to hit 75,000 people, this is what I would do. And this is why I would do it, versus just going, okay, you need 75,000 pens. Let me just get you the least expensive thing so I can hit your budget.
In my world, the thing that I have discovered is the most powerful tool is the word no. Usually when people come to us and ask for a cheap pen, my first response is no. And then if you can convince me as to why you should be able to purchase it, then we can talk about buying it. But to the Dreamforce issue, I tell the folks that plan those, if the users that are attending are paying $250 a month per user per license that they have in their organization, you can find $5 to hand them. It's just a question of um, making that case to the decision maker that has to write the check, because it's going to affect somebody's bonus probably. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I live in the IT world, and having been a chief information officer for 25 years, I have seen probably every cheap giveaway that you can possibly give away, and a few that I have actually given accolades to the people that give it away. But yeah, I run into that. I guess my last question of the day for you would be this: um, having been in sales for the last 20 plus years, um, is there a tip, a technique, a thought change, something that you can give somebody that they can implement today that will change their sales trajectory?
The number one thing I would say, whether you're a full-time seller, or a part-time seller, or even selling internally, to your husband, your wife, your partner, your children, anything, listen more, talk less. Uh, I've been in a lot of sales meetings, and now I help train our sales team, where it's just show up and throw up. Just, "Blah, here's all the information." People don't retain information like that. You gotta ask specific questions and then listen to how they're speaking and what their response is, taking cues on body language. Are they leaning forward? Are they leaning back? But just listening. I think that's the number one thing I would tell any seller, regardless of industry, regardless of their level or how long they've been doing it. We just need to listen more, because if you don't listen, you can't solve for their problem. You can't understand what their goal is. And again, on the distributor side as well as the supplier side, there's a lot of order takers in our industry. Customer says, "Hey, I want a cheap pen." Okay, cool. Here you go. Boop, out the door. You know, no second thoughts about it. And I think if we just start to ask more questions and listen to what the goal is, I think we'll get better responses and build more relationships and partnerships.
So, with that, two questions. What is your guys' most popular product? And then what is your personal favorite product that you guys do?
So our best-selling product, there's actually two that kind of rival each other. One is the Click Stick, the Bic Click Stick, iconic pen, not inexpensive, but just a classic look. There's so many color combinations you can do. There's over 30,000 different color combinations. We can do them in custom colors. And then our Koozie can cooler, the 45448, which is a full color dye sub can cooler. Those two are probably our best sellers, and those should be, in everyone's bag when they're going to visit customers, because one, who doesn't write with a good pen? And then number two, who doesn't drink from a can every once in a while and you want to keep it cold? Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, whatever you want. My personal favorite product, I would say the Intensity Gel was my favorite for a long time, simply because I sold a ton of them. It writes like no other pen. Um, I'm unique. I sell. I have a very analytical mind, but I do like art, so I do draw. Like, I have a grandson. We draw pictures every once in a while, so that's kind of cool. Um, but I think I'm also very techy. So we have a whole line called SCX Design. It's a European tech line. Everything is laser etched. It's all light up. I think there's a couple products. There's some desk products. There's a desk lamp on our site right now. There's also a wireless charging pad with a bamboo cup that you can put all your pens in. I think those two are kind of my favorite, and I have both of those on my desk now. So, anything that's techy that kind of feeds the phone, I think is a great seller right now for anyone, because I'm sure your phone is within 1 foot of your body at all times. Maybe not in the shower.
Yeah, basically. Um, Action plan for folks who have listened to this podcast are like, cool, I should probably do business with Koozie Group. So we're gonna we're friends with WePromo. So I'm gonna say step one, sign up for WePromo. Step two, go to KoozieGroup.com,
Yes.
sign up for an account. Step three, be on the lookout for the uh, mergers to finish. And through that one account, there will be a whole wide range of products that will be available without having to go to 7 places.
100%. And we're trying to make our processes faster. We're integrating AI. We have a chat that's built off of AI right now. So if you don't know the answer, you can go right on KoozieGroup.com. You don't need an account. You can say, hey, how do I set up an account in our chat? It'll give you all the instructions. So we're trying to make it super simple to do business with Koozie Group. And, we're a top 10 supplier. Our goal is to be the favorite supplier. I know we've had some transgressions in the past, but people like myself and our VP of Sales, Trish Daly, we've been here for a long time, and we want to get out of our own way and be the company that everyone expects.
One thing that I did forget to ask, any key dates that people should know for when they should order things to have them for the holidays?
Well, with 24-hour service, I mean, like we know your customers always plan ahead. They're always giving you 2 months time frame. Your customers are the best. For those new customers that may not know, we do have 24-hour service. We have 48-hour service on a lot of different products. So up until like really that second week in December, if you still need holiday gifts, we can still get them out the door. We also the other one that catches people holiday, and then the first of the year, I don't know, that comes up the same time every year, but people always forget to order calendars. So they're always like, January 15th, can I order my calendars? And we're like, yes, but you're like 2 weeks late. So we have guaranteed inventory on a lot of our products, especially on the calendar side. So if you need that calendar or that print product, you can definitely visit that. That's right up on our website, and you can see exactly what we have that's guaranteed all the time in inventory.
So, kind of to wrap up things for those that are going to sign up for WePromo, sign up for Koozie Group, can you cover real quick about samples, whether you charge for it, just charge shipping, and then as well as like self promo?
So typically what we do on samples is most samples, anything that's under $10, you're just paying for freight. So if it's a combination of samples, if you need a couple different pens, all you're going to do is pay for the freight on those. We do offer spec samples at no charge as well. Those you'd also pay for a freight. There is a limit up to two. But really, if you're going out to see new customers or you just want to get something to showcase or put in your bag, spec samples are a great way to go. And then for DSPs or distributor self promos, typically we're at EQP less 25% on most things. We have a couple retail brands that we work with that the margins aren't there, and then they also have contracts. So we have to limit those on some things, and those are like Titleist golf balls, some of the GCI chairs, and those type of entities. But if you contact us or use that AI chat, it'll tell you exactly what that pricing is. And then if you have a login for our system, you can see all that pricing. So it's built on our website. You know exactly what the price is and what you're paying for.
Any last questions from you, Daniel?
Why do people not currently do business with Koozie Group?
I think we had a little stigma. We had obviously when you're merging companies, there's some things that change which some people didn't like. Also, we went through an ERP implementation. Any change you change systems. There's two major suppliers who are going through that this year. Those things all impact the customer satisfaction or the customer journey, and I think those hurt us. Um, we also have, some people who may have been impacted by that in a negative way, so they don't speak kindly about us on social media. Um, but we're processing 2,500 orders a day. We're 98% on time. So, like, there's a good portion. If we were that bad, we wouldn't be a top 10 supplier. It just by default, people would completely shy away from you. We do a great job, and I think it's really time for us to shout it from the rooftops and be in front of customers, or in this, on podcasts, and just talk about, hey, yeah, we have we'll say a dark and checkered past, but now, we're in front, we're out in the light, and we're transparent. We have a great executive team. They're constantly looking at ways to improve the organization. We promote from in. We've also hired a lot of talent from outside the industry. So we're looking at new ways to do things. Technology is growing faster and faster. So we want to be everyone's favorite supplier, and we want to really grow the industry outside of where it is right now.
I look forward to seeing what 2026 holds for you guys. Particularly interested in what the final merger with Garyline looks like. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Um, so, from an IT guy, uh, good luck in all of the things. And I know there are a lot of moving parts. And we look forward to seeing where the parts all align, and hopefully none of them fall off.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. We've done 3 acquisitions in the last couple of years, and this one's going pretty smoothly. Garyline had a great team of leaders, as well as their IT, and just down the line, every single aspect of the company. And then they aligned so well with us. So very happy to be a part of the Mill Point family, and very happy to have Garyline as a product line that we can offer now to all of our customers.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, Harold. We'll leave links to everything down in the description so that they can sign up for Koozie and get more information about you guys. Any last things before we take off?
Just want to thank you both for the time and the opportunity to talk to your audience. And, you know, um, we're here. Whatever you need, give us a ring. We're happy to help.
Well, thank you again, Harold. Thank you, Daniel, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.